Yeah.
K Dot is closer to 100.
Ooh, I could see Megan there.
I mean, that's
Artsy Slider, I like her name.
that's how.
I'm talking about the Andre 3000 right now. The Flute.
Yeah.
The Flute 3000, and then they got Fergie, and they were designer. And
That's true.
Yes.
That's a great example.
they got Fergie.
Let me say it like this. I think Beyonce is a lot more calculated. A lot.
See it as Ye off the scale. Kanye 80. All right, check 1, 2. This is what we doing. This is good that we can't even see each other. Would you rather see yourself?
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Doesn't matter to me. I don't think. I'm used to seeing myself. It's crazy when you don't see it. You act more natural though. If you notice in my podcast, I'll be like, I'm always looking over here. It almost seems like I'm looking at my controller. People think I got like a whole crew, but I'm looking at. That's what the screen is. I'm looking at me. So this is not an Office Hour Tangents. Usually I say, welcome to another episode of Office Hour Tangents. This is not an Office Hour Tangent. This is just a random tangent. I'm gonna create a new channel. I don't know what it's gonna be called, but maybe it's just random tangents.
I don't get to go on the Office Hour Tangents?
Nah, it's not Office of Summer Hour Tangents. Summertime Tangents. How about that?
Is it gonna be on the Office Hour Tangents?
Yes, it's going to be an Office Hour Tangent.
I will feel slighted if it's not.
It's definitely gonna be an Office Hour Tangents brand. But it's the summer, so it's almost like summertime tangents. We have a guest, my boy Tony Anderson, Tone Capone. Tone is a Renaissance man. I'm not gonna go through the whole dossier at all.
Please don't.
I'm just gonna say Renaissance man. Okay? And we are at an undisclosed location. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's cool. But I'm out of town, so this is a spot. There's nobody in here. So I thought like let's just talk about something. Right? And this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. And it's almost like a piggyback from it seems like a lot of the Office Hour Tangents are piggybacks on the Amazing versus Dope. I've referenced that podcast maybe for my last 3 or 4 podcasts. But this one I want to talk about is art versus design. And I've mentioned it in a couple of my podcasts before, but what I mean by like art versus design is I think in our pop culture like space. And it kind of popped in my mind when the Drake and Kendrick beef started, right? And I saw it as an artist versus the designer. That's how I saw it from day one. You know, people would take it from like a lyricist versus a pop star or a hip hop versus pop, whatever. I took it as art versus design. I thought K Dot is in more of an artist expressing his art, where Drake is a master designer that always made songs for the people and things that work for the people. Do you agree with that assessment?
That's a tough categorization. I think
and like stop interrupting. Just to give you some background, if you don't know Tony Anderson, he is a music guy. Like this is where he got his degrees. He is way more entrenched in the music sphere than I am. So I do rely on his expertise in this.
And with B is visual art. So yes. when he starts talking about visual art, that's when I get quiet. When we talk about music, that's when I get loud. Right. So for me, I think it's a more complex question than that, because anytime music is commodified, there's some organization or design behind it. Whenever I manage artists, okay? So whenever I'm working with emerging artists or people who say they want to be stars or artists or whatever, I tell them that there's 3 eyes that every artist goes through. Right. And I think this applies to visual arts.
Okay. Okay.
There's inspiration.
Yep.
Imitation. And then innovation. And innovation is where you find your voice. But I know just from working in the music on the production side, when you're crafting something that's going to market, there's a gray area, but there's a lot of like imitation in the music industry, whether it be the beat being influenced by what's in the radio, and there's a lot of follow the leader that goes on in the music industry. Now, if you're the leader, you could be looked at as being innovative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everything's influenced by everything. There's archetypes and there's, approximations that happen across the music industry when you're talking about making money off of art.
Yes.
So to get back to your original question, I think there's design implicit,
of course,
in commodified art.
Of course. So try to step back, maybe try to step up, almost like bird's eye view, like 10 paces, and go back to my premise. Like I think an artist like Drake. So I think an artist like Drake, and I'm not saying this about Drake because Drake stands out there, but I think
Drake, he's a coming for you.
And let me just put it out there. I was a big fan, and I'm saying I was a big fan. I have Drake's Room for Improvement mixtape signed by him. That I went to the website and he signed it. Like, I was a Drake fanatic when he was first coming out. But I think artists like Drake, they want to be famous. I think they grow up wanting to be famous. And then if you just happen to become a rapper, that's what you become famous on. Like, you tried Nickelodeon, you tried commercials, you tried acting, you've tried everything. You've been on reality shows, you've been on People's Court. That's what you do when you get your name out. You just want to be famous. Like, you grow up like, I just want to be famous. And then you just happen to slide in. And I think there's a lot of rappers like that.
That's what I was going to say.
I think there's a whole bunch of rappers.
Some of the most artistic people, you could say the same thing about.
DMX was on, like, one of those dating shows or something like that. I remember seeing, like, there was a time where he was just trying to be famous. Like, I get that. But I think
Most Def has been was a child actor.
He was a child, yes. So, but I think that Drake, he has all these different styles of rapping. He's rapped on track beats. He's been lyrical. It's just like he's going to do what the people need him to do to sell the most records. Mm-hmm. And that's his label's intent. That's his intent, whatever. And I see K-Dot not too far from him. I'm not saying it's a big wide chasm. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Drake versus Andre 3000. I'm saying K-Dot is more so like, this is my expression, take it or leave it. And that's more like how an artist think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the creative player. You know what I'm saying? And if there's an artsy slider, definitely K-Dot is closer to 100.
Ooh, I could see Megan there.
Yeah. I mean, that's
artsy slider. I like remember name.
That's how I visualize it in my head. Is like, yeah, he's closer to that. Now, the funny thing is, for me, anybody who knows me knows that I've been down with K-Dot for a long
Yes, you was telling me about him before I knew him.
Yeah, and
I was telling you about Drake before anybody knew him. Yeah. So this is a good conversation, right?
Yeah, but for me, like where K-Dot is now, I'm less of a fan. Like, I got into it online because this last project, I do not like. You know what I'm saying?
I won't say I don't like it.
I'm going to say
it's not as dope as people say it is. I think it seems rushed. But
I was told that it's for the West, for the left coast. And I'm not from the West Coast.
And I'm not either, but it seems rushed. It just seemed rushed.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Magnus Opus that was put together. It just seemed rushed.
Yeah. So for me, I felt so like, it's one thing to be artistic and it's another thing to try to be artistic. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, okay, the Marvin Marsha voice, like yeah,
I don't like it because I never liked the Nicki Minaj. I get it.
So I don't know.
And that's why I appreciated this album a little bit more than his previous ones, because he was doing more rapping. In the previous ones, he was like half of it was singing or something in between rapping and singing. But I get it. He's being artistic. Yeah. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I like Section 80 above everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that was like his magnum opus. Right. And I know I'm in the minority on that. That's okay. But that for me, that was the project that I was just like, this is so musical. I can hear the influences. I love it.
And that's your musical geekdom. That's your geekiness. Mm-hmm. And another point of delineation between us two, I can listen to a song 5 times and never hear a word they're saying.
Oh, same here.
I don't hear the lyrics.
Yeah.
I hear the words and how they fit together like Tetris, but I don't hear the lyrics. I'm not a word listening guy. I might listen. If I'm interested and the song is good enough for me to listen to it 6 times, I might start listening to the words. If your name isn't Nas.
Right.
Or yeah,
but that's
certain. It's only a few artists like that.
You took the exact words out of my mouth. There's only a few rappers that I'm like listening to what they're saying immediately, and Nas is the first person that came to mind. Like I want to know exactly
what he's saying.
I don't know if you listen to Locksmith.
Yeah,
but
he's dope.
Yeah, I'm listening to him now, and I'm like, okay, we have a rapper for real.
Oh, he's been rapping for real for a while too.
Yeah.
So and you know what, an artist that's far gone, but he's still putting out albums that I listen. Candace.
Oh yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen. Dang.
And pause.
Right. So yeah, we're in this building and we're doing this very guerrilla style. So I'm gonna edit that out or maybe not. We'll see. But
and we're back.
Oh, back to this commercial break. That's how I do, man. I need to get. So this is another probably podcast I'll address later. But in light of the technology and everything coming about, I'm trying to lean more into spontaneous design, spontaneous creativity, spontaneous artistry. So I was just meeting with my boy today. Not even meeting. We were just going to talk. I'm about to go out of town tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, let's do a podcast real quick and let's see how it goes. Let's go. Like, I don't need to rent out a podcast booth and get professional equipment. Let's just see how it rocks.
Yep.
On a spontaneous tip. Now, I did write some other comparisons for art design. Exactly. And let's discuss them. So the next one I wrote down was...
Okay, before we do this, just based off the first half of this conversation, we got to use the artsy slider.
No, give me that. The artsy slider. Okay, I'm a visual, so I can see it. So, okay, from a scale of 1 to 100,
right,
where 0 is super analytical, 100 is super creative, right?
Yes.
Where are you?
Me?
Give me a number.
Oh. Analytical and creative.
The artsy scale, yes. So 100 would be... From what we're talking about, 100 is like 3,000 right now. He's just out there.
Yeah.
0 is like Elon Musk.
Gotcha.
I
was gonna say something, but it's not politically
correct.
But you know what I'm gonna say. So I would say I'm more critical of myself because there's things that I can't do that I wish I could. So I will say I'm probably about a 65.
Okay, I can see that. I don't even think I'm too far from that. I would give myself 80, 75, 80, 85. Because every time I think I'm creative, that's like that, I meet somebody and I'm like, oh, I'm analytical compared to them.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm very much a designer. I thought I was an artist for a minute, but then I figured out no, I'm not an artist. I'm a designer because I always think about the user.
Yeah. I'm super analytical, but I'm more creative than the average person.
Yes.
So that's why I'm close to that middle.
Okay.
But I'm definitely more creative and yeah.
That's an app waiting to happen, huh? Like answer these few questions and we'll tell you where you're on the artsy scale.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Don't trademark that, don't. The
artsy scale. All right, because I use that term a lot, artsy fartsy. Like I'm an artsy fartsy type of dude. Smarty art from the Dave Chappelle joke, if you know what I'm talking about. So 3,000, I wrote down here. So on the art side, 3,000. On the design side, hip hop generally. So I think 3,000 is just expressing his artistry, and then
hip hop in what era?
Now, because he's come out and said, I don't do hip hop because that's not me anymore. Yeah. So I think he feels like hip hop is too
programmatic.
Yeah, it's like do what the people want.
Yeah.
This is the kind of beat that people like.
But I don't think he's never been that. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, he has though.
Hey y'all.
You listen to those first albums. I'm talking about first album, second album. He's gotten more artistic as it gone. He started wearing the shoulder pads and all that stuff. He's just getting.
But even
it was a progression.
Even musically, they were changing style.
In that first album, he was flowing.
Yeah.
Like an East Coast rapper almost. Second album, he started experimenting. And I'm telling you, it's a progression. I'm talking about the Andre 3000 right now. The Flute.
Yeah.
The Flute 3000. Yeah. I think, and then the hip hop, and I think he sees hip hop as just it's whack. I think he sees hip hop as corny now. Like, you have to give me the beat that the people like, give me the flow that the people like, and then there's a microwave hit. Yeah. And he's like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You agree with that one?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think he's over 100.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's over 100.
But and I'm a 3000.
That doesn't. But be clear, that doesn't mean that it's. We're mixing words. That doesn't mean that it's artistically
dope.
Doesn't
mean it's dope.
But it is creative.
It is creative.
You know what I'm saying?
I listened to the Flute album.
Yeah, I listened to
it like twice.
Yeah.
I forced it because he's 3000. I forced it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have listened to nothing like that if it wasn't him. Yeah. And I tried it. I'm probably not going to listen to it again.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping he comes out with a second one. But knowing him, he'll come out with an oboe album, or maybe he's getting the cans out. I don't know.
He might do the pootie tang.
Hey, artists would do that. Designers wouldn't, because designers think about the consumer. There needs to be a pootie tank too. You know that, right? That is a long.
So hold on.
Man.
So listen, I had a conversation with my boy Fonte. Mm-hmm. If you are a Little Brother fan, Fonte had this album called The Story of Us, Unheralded Symmetrics, and I said we need another. We need another. And he said, I can't make a parody of a parody.
Who said it?
That's what he's saying. He's like, I mess around and make a parody of a parody and then make a hit.
Was the Minstrel Show a parody?
I think it was.
The title was weird. Yeah. You can make a parody of a parody. South Park does it, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
And that's a good example of artists.
Yeah.
Who try, in my opinion, design, and it didn't work out for them. What'd you think? Little Brother
tried design and it didn't work out.
I feel like they was, when I first got introduced to him, they was like, okay, better example. That we've talked about before. Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
Black Eyed Peas, when they first came out, a better example, right?
That's a better example.
First two albums, Black Eyed Peas, just the three of them, art. But it was following the same vein as like Digable Planets and Roots and stuff like that. And then they got Fergie, and they were designers. And
that's true. That's a great example.
They got Fergie, and I saw an interview with Will I Am, and he basically admitted, like, yes, like we wanted to make hits, and we were missing the piece, and she was the piece to make hits. So they started making songs for the people, which they were free to admit. But it wasn't those first 2 hours. Yeah. Listen, if anybody is never, if y'all only know Black Eyed Peas with Fergie in it, go listen to that first Black Eyed Peas album.
Classic, by the way.
Classic. and then the second one, then the third. I remember getting the third one, Ella Funk.
Yep.
And almost wanted to throw it across the fucking room. You're like, what the hell is this? It's like they made a strong pivot. Like this underground artistry stuff isn't paying the bills.
Shout out to Will I Am.
Word. Will I Am. The technology stuff, I would love. So somebody asked me, I'm looking to get on a speaking Turk, and they was like, who would you like to blah, 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 pattern yourself? I was like, Will I Am. Because he calls himself a technologist. And I don't call myself a technologist, but I could. And I just like the way him and Pharrell,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would love to sit in a room with Will I Am and Pharrell.
Both of them.
And just geek out.
And just geek the hell out.
Yeah, because
I was listening to Will I Am's, he has a radio station on Sirius. You know that?
Oh, you know that.
Where his Ed McMahon is a ChatGPT agent called QT QT Pi, I think. So the math pi.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. But they were artists, then they turned designers, and they got super rich being designers.
That's right.
And that's when I teach, as a professor, when I teach design, that's what I teach them. It's like, most of the students that come into my room, and I'm assuming it's yours for the same thing with musicians, they come into the room as artists. They've been trained K through 12 to be an artist. They're in art classes. They paint, they draw, and then they come to me and they want to be designers, and they think it's just like glorified art. And I have to take them like, hey, it's the user first. Yeah. And they have a hard time making that transition from, I'm making this beautiful because I think it's beautiful, to who cares about what you think about it.
Yeah. No. Okay. So another Tony paradigm. Think of a triangle.
Yep.
All right. I have this theory of a cultural continuum. On the bottom, you have, which is the largest part of the triangle, you have outsiders.
Okay.
Right. In the middle, you have consumers. And at the top, you have creators, smallest part, right? Any culture in the world you can apply this paradigm to, right? Mm-hmm. Any cultural phenomenon, you can apply this. Outsiders, consumers, creators, all right? Kids come into the room, most of them. There's a couple exceptions. I'm thinking of one right now. Most of them come in as consumers. My job is to move them from consumers to creators.
Weird.
Right? So in that consumer space, there's an inspiration, there's an imitation. But innovation doesn't come till you reach that creator space.
Right.
So now, there are some kids that come in and say, like, I have a DJ club. Some kids will come in and say, I want to DJ. And I don't want to play what they're playing. I want to do what I want to do. And I'm like, look, you need to understand you're not playing for yourself.
Yeah.
If you are, that's cool. You'll be a closet bedroom DJ. Nothing wrong with it. I've seen many of them and they're happy with life.
Yes.
But if you're trying to make money, see, that's the X factor again, then you have to understand the audience and you have to design your playlist, your set list, what you're doing based on the audience you're trying to cater to. And so if you're trying to do coffee shops, then you better learn, how to play jazz, neo soul, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Now you can add your own style, but you got to really understand where you're at and who you're trying to attract. Because if you just come in the door saying, I want to do what I want, you know what I mean?
Respect the artistry, respect my craft.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially when you don't even know how to do it yet.
Yes. That's cool. Well, they're not going to hire you the next time. Just know that.
Right.
So the next comparison.
Artsy slider.
Miss Hill. Is it Mrs. Hill or Miss Hill? I forgot. Miss Hill versus Beyonce.
Whew, that's tough. I would say on the Artsy slider, Miss Hill. This is controversial. I would say she's a 9B.
Okay.
I would say she's a 9B. Yeah. And I would say Beyonce's probably, don't come after me, it's probably like an 85.
I'm gonna come after you a little bit.
I know, you're pushing it. I know, here it comes.
No, I mean, for all of Beyonce's dopeness, I agree with Badu. And I think the 90 is like the recent Badu. I think she's in her space.
Not Badu, Miss Hill.
Miss Hill. Oh, shoot, I said Miss Hill, my bad. That's down the list, my bad. Miss Hill, she probably get offended from that. But Miss Hill, yes, 90, no doubt. Tortured even. I think, and this is my opinion, the further you get on that art scale, I think the more propensity, the higher propensity for being tortured, being mentally tortured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beyonce though, I put her about, so what did I put me? I put me about 75. I put myself about 80.
What that?
85. I put Beyonce about, we need to add something to the scale. Because I said artist versus analytical.
No, you said creativity versus analytical, but I'm saying artsy versus creativity.
But I almost want to have another scale where it's like artsy versus, or artsy versus designy. If that's my word.
Yeah.
So if it is a different scale. So when this says design, this is art, I put Beyonce.
So the art is 0?
That's what I'm saying. We got to think about the scale. We're going to think about the scale. We're going to get to the scale though. But on that scale, yeah, I agree with that. Because they're both artsy. But I think Beyonce and the team is all about what's going to sound and be hot.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't think she's doing what she loves and she wants to do from her heart.
Let me say it like this. I think Beyonce is a lot more calculated.
A lot more.
A lot more calculated. But I also think Miss Hill's calculated. I just think her references are older.
Explain.
So, you know, Destiny's Child comes from a tradition of the Supremes, you know, In Vogue, like those archetypes you can point to. They're so. Miss Hill's, they're from the 60s. You know what I'm saying? They're much older, so they're there.
But she still comes from a group, hip hop group of that.
Yeah. But I'm saying her whole like.
And she was an actress.
Yeah, the influences, the stuff that makes the soul, that makes the grit, are older. So it's harder for us to point to them and be like, you doing Diana Ross. No, you could see Beyonce's doing Diana Ross. You know what I'm saying? It's harder for us to pull. Now, if you talk, that's Roberta Flack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who's Roberta Flack? Those young people. Yeah.
Right. Oh, Roberta Flack sang that song. We feel Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a thing, and so that makes it seem like it's more original, but it is a calculation too.
It is a calculation. You think her new stuff, like this, she hasn't really had any new stuff.
Yeah, and that's even more why I say it's not 100.
Yeah.
That's why I put her at 90, because there was a lot of people around her that helped develop that sound, that contributed.
And that's what she's toured on.
And that too is a calculation. Those folks, the producers, know, they're like, sorry, alchemists. They're alchemists, they're chemists. They're putting together these, like this reference from here and this reference from here, and this will sound good.
Okay, cool, pivot. What's your most think of an artistic producer? Just straight up, I'm doing what I feel like it. I'm doing what I feel.
Oh, and not
as opposed to a designer base. Like I'm doing it for the people type.
Oh, well, okay, for artist, I'm saying from in a hip hop space, J Dilla.
Yes.
Because he's innovative.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
As opposed, now give me the opposite. Give me a more designer. I'm making hits for the people. I got the formula for hits.
I'm gonna go off the grid because it's not gonna be hip hop. But I just had this thought yesterday.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin.
All right, you too far off the grid.
No, because every Kirk Franklin song sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like I would
me on.
Yeah, it's a so like same thing with R. Kelly. I didn't want to say R. Kelly, but it's like
say it.
Every song, if you hear the beat, you know it's an R. Kelly song, even if it's not him singing it.
Right.
Same thing with Timbaland. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? They have this like.
I wrote it down. I forgot what it. I had Primo versus Dr. Dre. I don't think Primo makes things as this is going to be a hit. I think Dre makes things like all these are about to be hits.
That's right.
Because I got a formula for making hits.
But I don't know what that. I can't tell you what that formula is.
I couldn't either. I don't even know if that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But he makes. I feel like he has a sense of the people, like what the people want. Where Primo has a sense of like what hip hop is, and he's a pure.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I did have that down. Primo versus Dr. Dre. Next one, we probably like got cut off or something. Nas versus Nas versus Jigga. I'll start this one off. I think Nas is definitely on the more artistic side. I think Jay-Z is firmly entrenched on the design side. I think Jay-Z is about his money. He will make It's a Hard Knock Life because it sounds dope. Mm-hmm. Whereas Nas gets producers who nobody heard of and still sounds dope. But it's just like, I'm gonna get this producer and this beat, and people think I can choose producers. I don't care. But Jay-Z had Kanye making a lot of his beats. He had Timbaland making a lot of his beats. He has the hit makers making his beats.
Yeah.
But
Which brings up an interesting point, because I'm gonna dodge that bullet. Because, but I'll say this, like, if you watch, I forget what documentary it was where Jay-Z was talking about having slots on his album. He was like, I gotta have a slot for Timbo. I gotta have a slot for Pharrell, right? I think that's an important insight, because I was thinking about, I remember when Corday's first album came out. Because I worked in the music industry, I know the formula for the Grammys submissions.
yes.
You know what I mean? I know what the artists are doing to try and appeal to the Grammy audience. And so I immediately said, Grammy album. He didn't win, but he got nominated right out the box. First album. And you said, I don't like this album because it sounds like he got to have a storytelling song, got to have a political song, got to have a dance song. And I'm like, yeah, that's...
It was too,
But for me, I was like, not only did he do it, but he did it well. He hit those slots. And so I love that first Corday album. I get a lot of flack. People always trying to challenge me on that. But I'm like, yo, this dude is gifted. And he was young. Yeah. So for me, it was like, yo, you better embrace this young dude that's actually got some
skill, and he's a nice dude.
Yes.
And yeah, he had a lot going for him. It's kind of like B.o.B in the beginning. Yeah. Remember B.o.B?
B.o.'s coming
And he's
back.
still dropping stuff. He's dropping stuff all the time.
He's coming back.
But he was super commercial. I only say he was. It feel like they made him, whoever they is.
Shout out to TJ Chapman.
They made him. They tried to make him into a superstar. I remember those days when there was the band. He almost was turned into a rock star.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but he's back on his art shit now.
Yeah.
He's firmly back on, like, I'm doing what I feel, and that's the B.o.B. I prefer. But I never slight anybody for getting their money though.
Gotcha.
Cause I'm a designer. That's what I do. Like I don't make art to be put on walls.
Yeah.
The art I make is to be consumed, sold, something.
That's right.
And I got to think about the user first. I'm just going to do some spitballing real quick. So I say Ye versus Kanye.
I mean, Kanye, 110.
No, Ye versus Kanye.
You know what I'm saying?
Kanye 110. On the artist scale, on the art side, okay.
Yeah, and then I think the Ye side just spun out of control.
Where's he on the scale though?
2.
See, I almost see it as Ye off the scale. Kanye 80. I just see it like that. I think Kanye was trying to be calculated, and now he's just out of, like, you can see he's spinning out of control, but I just think he's doing what he feels like doing. And that's art.
He's too smart not to be calculated.
Yeah, I agree with this calculation.
I don't think
I'm
ever not intentional. I don't think Kanye is ever not intentional.
No doubt. Hey, yeah, I get it. Okay, next up. Steve Jobs versus Tim Cook. That's more my alley. Steve Jobs founded Apple. Tim Cook runs Apple now.
Inherited
Apple. And I feel like Steve Jobs and the products that he helped manifest, right, was just more art. Like there was a lot of people telling him that can't be done, that won't work, this won't work. And he did it anyway. And some of them worked. Not all of them, but some of them worked, including the iPhone, right? Tim Cook I don't feel like Apple's done anything innovative that's artistic or anything since in a while.
I was gonna say, you don't think the Vision Pros?
I think the Vision Pro, that's a whole new thing. I think the Vision Pro was prodding. It was a prodding product. It was just kind of trying to see what we're gonna do with it, and then they're just gonna fade into oblivion, like Mike Tyson said, and just say we ain't made that. I think it was just pro when they saw people working jumping, and they just kind of like remember that Cube? They came with that computer. They had some flops. They probably had more flops than successes. But they just kind of like.
I love the Vision Pro. I still haven't gotten them, but I thought they were dope.
But that's the point. That's art.
Yeah.
It's almost art. Like there's no reason for it. There's no reason to have a Vision Pro. It doesn't replace anything that you do, and it doesn't offer anything that you need.
Well, see, for me, I see a lot of applications in the education space, but that's just me.
But that should have happened already if people wanted it.
No, I'm saying I don't know. I think it might have been ahead of its time.
It's definitely ahead of its time. But the Meta Quest has been out for like 5 years. Yeah. And that hasn't got adopted in the educational space yet.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but I feel like that's more of a toy. The Vision Pro is more of a application that could be used for more serious things. But that's just
no doubt. And I think one thing, and this is a whole nother discussion, but I think Apple saw from it, I think it's a research thing. I think they put out this hardware thing because people forget. Apple is a hardware company. They make hardware primarily. The software stuff is just so they don't have to play nice with others. But I just think they just saw a trend and they just hopped on board begrudgingly. It's just like AI right now. Like their AI sucks, but I'm thinking they just begrudgingly jumped on board because everybody jumped the gun and they're just like, we got AI too, Apple Intelligence, and it's like, it's not nothing. It's not in there. They just jumping on board.
glorified Google.
Yes. Basquiat versus Paul Rand.
That's right.
Basquiat, fine artist, tortured artist, but he was an artist, right? You look at his pieces. He was not thinking about the users when he created his pieces. Paul Rand, for my design geeks, he's just like maybe the most famous brand designer out there. He designed like the UPS logo, like stuff like that. So total like opposites when it comes to artistry versus design. Donald Glover versus Childish Gambino.
Can we change this?
To what?
Childish Gambino and Tyler the Creator.
No. Hell no. You know who said that? Who? AI. When I asked AI to come up with it, I came up with like 8 of these, and I was like, I need 2 more, and I asked AI, and the 20 it provided me, I only used 2 of them, but that was one of them, and I felt they was too similar. I think both. Okay, I think Childish Gambino and Tyler the Creator are like. I think they're very, very similar.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the opposites.
That one's a hard one for me.
I think Donald Glover, so he don't want to be Childish Gambino anymore. So Childish Gambino was a designer. He made Childish Gambino. He got it from a Wu-Tang, the whole story. And he was just trying to find his way, almost like Mos Def did. He's just a talented dude. He can act. He can do comedy. Maybe he's fucking stand-up comedian. And Childish Gambino sounded like a joke. Like, I'm gonna do this hip hop thing because I'm good at that too.
That's right.
I'm good at that too. But I felt like Donald Glover is the artist. I think that's who produced Atlanta. That's who came up with that Michael Jackson kind of figure. That's who that last season of Atlanta alone. Yeah, that's the artist. That's how I see it.
I don't disagree. Cool. I don't disagree.
And then I had, for the last one, Spike Lee versus Tyler Perry.
Spike Lee, artists through and through. Tyler Perry is more calculated. I mean, he's got a formula. He's sticking to it.
Boom. You right. I think Spike, from day one, it's done what he wanted to do as an artist. Film school, he always talk about, you split film school, and he's always kind of like bootstrapped the shit that he could.
Like, I think it's like, from a film perspective, he's the ultimate in innovation. He's the ultimate in innovation.
Like, he's going to go out on a limb.
Yeah, he's going to do whatever it takes.
You see that movie, that vampire movie you made? The Blood or something? I forgot the Blood.
Mike is on the soundtrack. He got the theme song.
Is he?
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's crazy that you would say out of all the
I watched that movie and I'm like, this is art. I didn't even like that movie, but it was like I watched it from like I was watching it on the wall, like I was in a museum, like the shots and the colors and stuff like that, instead of like a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Well, I think Tyler Perry, it's Formulaic. He knows what's going to sell and he's sticking to it. He's thinking about his user's purchase. Whenever he talks about his audience.
Small plug. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Jagger, also known as Govelius.
Shout out to Mike Jagger. I'm picturing the album cover with the child with tears. Mike Jagger, man, he's doing good.
He's doing well.
That's what's up.
He's doing well.
That's what's up. But that was my thing, design versus art. And I think in this era of AI and technology, we are in a entering the very beginning of a technological revolution led by AI. I don't know if it's going to be finished with AI. I don't know. But I think this is where the artistry can shine. So anybody's watching and you know, speak up. It's like, some of my students, I won't say some of my students, a lot of my students are nervous because a lot of my students are creators. They come into my room as artists and they're trying to go into design because they don't know how to make money being artists. And that's why I got into design. I didn't know what design was. I just wanted to be creative. So I fell into this field because I don't know, it just, there was a profession for it. I didn't see too many professions for artists.
Yeah, and it's gonna bleed into a B-side of this conversation just for a second. But for me, in hindsight, I didn't know the pathways available to be creative and artistic. In hindsight, at 48 years old, I'm like, yo, I should have went into marketing, because marketing would have allowed me to use my creativity and my analytical design side of my brand. Mm-hmm. I love education. I love working with young people, but sometimes I wonder, should I have gone into marketing? Because that's a space where I could have pulled both sides of my brain together.
That's precisely the reason I got into design. Because if you didn't know, my degree says architectural studies. I started off as a computer science major, and it was good. I went into that like, okay, that computer science introduced me to that whole realm, which is very important, but I knew that was going to be torturous for me to do all that. Architecture makes me a great designer because architects cannot be good architects without thinking about the user. You have to think about the user before you think about anything with architecture. Like, how's the user fit into the space that you're going to create? So that's the same thing with design. Like, I got to think about the user, where a lot of designers don't think about the user. A lot of designers out here are artists posing as designers. They're creating stuff and they're saying, here's your logo, and it's so beautiful, and but it doesn't work. It doesn't help you sell product or help people go to where they need to be. It's just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot to tell somebody, like, make it for them, not for you. But yeah, I went into design for that reason. That makes me think. That's a B-side, no doubt. Like, what I went into, I would have. I always think about psychiatry or something.
Interesting.
So as a designer, if I knew more how the brain worked and how people function, maybe what's that profession? What's the type of engineering where you're kind of studying people? You know, I think of any profession where I'm studying people. And I'm almost saying, like, today, if I was coming out now, I would think about a profession that studies people, because one thing that AI, in my opinion, is going to have a hard time understanding, if it can understand anything, it's not going to really understand us. Mm-hmm. The love, the soul that you mentioned earlier, that instinct. But people will always understand people. So that's why I lean into people. I lean into the people aspect of it.
People will always understand people?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, because I sure don't understand like a whole lot of people.
Okay.
And I one of my degrees is sociology.
I get that. I'm trying to think if I should. No, I think as a whole, okay, maybe if I reworded it, it would be, people will always have the best ability to understand.
There we go.
People.
I'll take that.
AI is constantly trying to understand us. Yeah. It just is, but it's using data to try to understand us. I don't think I use data to understand you.
Gotcha. Well,
I think
you do.
No, after a while, but I think if you walk in a room and I don't know you, I'm already sizing you out.
Yeah, but that's data. It's qualitative data.
The sight, I can see is data. Your
body language.
Body language, that's sight. Everything I can see, that's data. I can see anything I can smell, anything I can hear. But it's that other layer that's hard to talk about because we don't really have words for it. And that's where the data is like, is it data?
It's a sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And that kind of starts creeping into other realms.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let me switch gears real quick while we have a little bit of time later. Yes. I wrote a blog post about, we're both educators. So I wrote a blog post about the role of personality in the classroom. Like there's a lot of research on instructional methods, curriculum, pedagogical approaches, testing, all this stuff, but not a lot of research on personality and the impact of people's personality on the effectiveness of instruction. Now,
yeah, I read that.
Full transparency, I am a high school administrator. I used to work in college, so I think that's where the disagreement online was. And your question was, should we be making it comfortable for the students?
Yes.
And so
should we go out of our way to make it as comfortable as possible for the students?
Yeah. And so I think you're thinking from a college perspective, yes or no?
Yes.
And I'm thinking from a high school perspective. So my answer in college is probably a little different, but my answer in high school is, in high school, I think we have an obligation to, I think it's, as I said online, I think it's unfair to expect a student who's still developing mentally to deal with an adult who has trauma or other problems, and that's influencing their ability to effectively be a teacher.
Yes.
So
I agree. No, I agree. That's the thing with the post. I agree. Like that's the first thing I wrote. I agree.
You did.
I agree. But so when students get to me, and I'm not, I'm not giving my teaching philosophies or anything like that. But when I get students, sometimes I do get students that, so they're 18-year-olds, 18, 19-year-olds, and some students have a very, 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 very tough time dealing with other people, dealing with a C.
Yeah,
dealing with critique.
That's a different issue.
Dealing with colleagues, like they're very, and I don't know why. That's not up to me. I don't know if it's screens. I don't know if it's video games. Yes. I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's all of that. That's the all desire.
And it's
understand.
And it's post-COVID.
All of that. Yes.
All of that matters.
So when they get to me, I don't have time. I can keep on making it comfortable for you. For instance, I can like baby you, like I can see you in the corner, like scared of the world, and I can say, "Come on, baby, come on out. It's gonna be safe out here." But then once they graduate, there's gonna be none of that. So it's like we got to strike that balance of like, do we give them like what do we provide?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
that wasn't the spirit of the post, because I think that's a generational issue, and I do think there's some other factors that lead into that. What I'm talking about, and this was my response on the blog, I'm talking about the teacher who just got divorced and comes into the classroom and finds the kid in the room that has the most trauma and get out of my class right now. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, it's almost like the abused find the abused, and then the whole room is chaos because that teacher who's being paid to instruct hasn't gotten the proper counseling.
They haven't got the proper training. Do teachers get the proper training to be teachers, period?
No.
They need to be all of that. They need to be parents, psychologists. They need to do all that stuff. And they don't get training. They get trained on their subject matter.
Yeah, that's right.
And is their job just to teach math? Or is their job to do all that other stuff?
No, I mean, if you can't just... Are you teaching if nobody's learning?
No, I'm saying, like, it's not... I don't think it's like either or.
See, I do.
I think I've had teachers that just taught subjects and they weren't personable. I barely knew their name and I learned a lot from them.
And again,
I've had babies.
So then that might be the type of teacher that works for your personality.
So my point is, once they jump into the point of going to school, well, K through 12, like you said, is different. K through 12 is almost like the shape of a great human being. Once you get to me, you're trying to get a job.
That's right.
For the most part. So I'm teaching you the subject matter and I'm also training you to have a job, to function out there without me.
That's right.
And that's what scares me when you make it so comfortable in the learning space, and then they get into the professional space and they expect the same
Yes. No, I understand. I understand that, and I think that's problematic. I've encountered that too, and I think I see it as two different issues. I as an administrator, I feel hypocritical sometimes when when somebody comes in with a complaint, and I know that the teacher in question has a bunch of issues, right? But as an administrator, I got to say, well, they got to learn to adapt to different personalities, because when they get to college, all the teachers are not going to be, personable. Well, I don't think that's fair at a high school level.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? When I know in the back of my head, yeah, the teacher got some problems, and I can't tell you need to go get that. You need to go.
No doubt.
It just doesn't work.
It's like that person that works at McDonald's who just had a fight at the crib and about to get foreclosed at home, and you're asking for fries and you mad because the fries are lukewarm, and they flip out and jump over the counter on you. It's like, I think we all got something. Okay, this is what we're gonna do right here, real quick, for editing purposes. I don't know when it's gonna stop, so I'm gonna wrap up this conversation. There's definitely gonna be a part 2 to this, because we kind of started having tangents. That's what we do. So I see about 2 or 3 tangents that we're gonna go off on, me and Tone, no doubt. But thanks for listening. And just a real thing that I've been thinking about. I think I said this in the last video, but I'm not getting that many views, so I'm saying it again. Coming from this art versus design thing, the design thing of me is, when I did start doing this podcast, I started it off as more of art. I was just doing them to teach myself how to do them, and I had some stuff to say, and it was therapeutic. And then I started, as the episodes, I started getting more design with it, because that's what I do. Started to add graphics, animation. As soon as I started doing animations, I'm like, Brandon, you do it too much. Now the editing was taking longer than the cast. And the ultimate thing that I had to look when I started watching my things over, I was like, is when I started putting on the subscribe, or comment thing at the end. I'm not doing that anymore. You can do that stuff, but that's ultimate design. That's like, I'm doing this for the views, and then I'm trying to get views so I can get my numbers up, so I can hopefully get, I can make some money off of this. Nah, I'm not doing it for that. I'm really not doing it for that. So for the 7 people that watch this,
it's gonna be more than 7, because I'm late.
No doubt. For the 13 people that's gonna watch this,
well, I gotta be 6 more.
Thank you very much, because that's the answer to all our questions: 6 or 7, right?
Oh man!
Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, but if you want to, comment if you want to, subscribe if you want to. I'm not.
Join the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comments, because that's the space that I'm in right now. I'm doing these think pieces, and I want to have the conversation, so this stuff, the dialogue happens. I need a space where we can talk. So make sure you put your comments. If you disagree with the continuum, if you disagree with the artsy slider,
where are you on the artsy? I would rather see that. Where are you on the artsy scale?
Yeah.
And art versus design, where are you? Where do you sit? You can even say art versus analytical, but more art, design, and they're very close. I'm not saying that we could be like that. But they're very close. Artists, the line between artist and designer is very, very close. They're both creative. You both have. Go ahead.
Let's close like this. Tell me somebody who's 50-50.
Good question. Me.
Right, I know. Wait a minute. You said you was 80.
That was on the artistic versus analytical. So are we talking about artistic versus designy?
Yeah. Tell me somebody you think is 50-50.
Do you know somebody else what I think?
I'll
edit the thing. We're going to think. Okay, let me just throw out. So we kind of start off with musicians.
I'll give you one.
Give me one.
It's going to be controversial.
That's why we're here.
Michael Jackson.
Good one.
Michael Jackson was 50-50. He was a the way.
I think he's way more designer. I had him. I think he's 80%. I think he's way more designer.
But he couldn't execute He couldn't.
Prince versus Michael Jackson. That was on my original list. Prince, artist, Michael Jackson, designer. Clearly, right? Right?
No comment.
I need your comment. That's what it's. I'm all here for.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Prince, artist. He didn't. I don't think he wrote songs to make hits. Mike Jack. First of all, he was writing them. Some people, others writing them. It was a team effort to make hits.
Yeah, that
like
was
every
some other
song.
dude did the moonwalk first.
Designer.
You know, Napoleon, you know, with the walk in, and there's a lot of
Mike J
puzzle pieces that
is my ultimate. So disclaimer, he's my ultimate.
This is not a negative
designer, but that dude had the pulse of the people and his team. Prince played every instrument because he didn't want other people playing instruments. Because he's like me. Like, that's why I do all this stuff. That's why I do too much. So if I'm gonna do a website, I'm gonna code it, I'm gonna design it, I'm gonna put it up, I'm gonna market it. Like, I should ask for help, but I don't.
James Brown.
Hey. Yeah, that's a better one. That's a better one. I can see a lot of those old school dudes like starting off as artists and becoming more designer. Or vice versa, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think about some of the things that you hear about James Brown, and it's just
he's a genius.
Genius.
I can't think of no people, bro. I'm trying to think of a. We start off with hip hop, and I'm thinking like for instance, I don't know why this pop like Guru.
Okay, I give you one. I give you.
My thought on Guru. If you know Guru is part of Gangstar.
I'll give you one.
I feel like him being with Primo, people thought about Primo as like the whatever, and they were creating art, and he was making political type raps. He was one of the first ones on the 5%, all that stuff in his rhymes. And I felt like he got to the point where he wanted to start making cash, and he started doing his own stuff without Primo, and that's when he got into the jazzmatazz stuff. And I don't know if I considered that art but I felt that's why I say he's 50-50. Because he started going another direction.
I said KRS.
I give you that. Yeah, explain.
KRS 50-50. Maybe more artists, but I think he's very calculated. For example, he said, I remember when he made Step Into a World, he said, "Oh, y'all want a pop hit? Okay, just had a girl."
I think that album was his most pop album.
Yeah, it was like,
and it was dope.
And it worked. Yeah. And it was like, yo, he can do it anytime he wants. So for me, so he could. He just knows what he's doing. He like a lot of times when I work with young artists, I'm like, okay, so you made a record that people like. Can you do it again? Do you understand what went into it? Did you design it, or did you just stumble into that?
Was it a one? Yeah. Was it a fluke?
Was it a fluke?
That's why I tell my son.
Do it again.
When he hits the shot or does it, like, it doesn't matter if you can't do it two times in a row. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, that was a fluke.
It's luck.
It was luck.
That's luck. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of one hit wonder lucky dudes out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hit the lottery, but can you hit it over and over and over and over and over and over and over?
That's a good one. I don't know why I think about Nelly when I think about KRS One. But you want to talk about designer? Nelly.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne? What you think?
I mean, it's very clear, study 3000. You know what I mean? Like,
you think he's more designer or artist?
I think he's more drugs.
Okay, that would say arts.
Yeah, when he's on drugs, he's incredible.
That's a designer or artist, or is he 50-50? The drugs leans to the artist.
Yeah.
But he has a formula.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh hell no.
Don't do drugs.
Sly.
Yeah.
From Sly and the Family Stone.
Artist.
That's a good 50-50 one.
Yeah. Well.
He was trying to make hits. I read his book. You read his book?
I haven't read his book.
Read his book. You talking about geniuses. He was trying to make hits. Like, he was really trying to make hits. Like, he wasn't like making stuff that he was trying to make hits. It came across as, because that's how out there you
well, that's the beauty of it. Like, when you can be calculated but make it look artistic, that's when it's like
All his hits
That's
was
when you're
early.
winning.
He was like hit. And then it's hard to keep making those hits.
That's right. That's right.
Because you need the people behind you to tell him what the people want. It got to the point where he thought he knew what the people had moved on. And he was trying to make hits for those people, not for the new people.
Yeah.
And that's what we see. Remember the Temptations?
That's why
when they were getting fade and they had boxes?
Yeah.
That was them trying to design.
Yeah. And that's and then going back to Outkast, that was what was so innovative about them. Is they had a couple of albums that sounded similar, and then they said, all right, we need to make a left turn. You know what I'm saying? We need to
Every album sound different.
Yeah.
It was like a whole new time and space for them.
Yeah.
I so wish they would just get together and just make one more.
I know as an artist, I would never want to put that on an artist, being an artist myself. I would never, that's just as a fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never want an artist to like compromise their artistry.
Straight up, that's like one of the worst things that can happen is to have a hit record.
It is.
Because the only place you can go from there is down.
It's like getting drafted number 1.
Yeah.
To me. Like, I'd rather get drafted when did Kobe go? 6 or 8?
8 or something.
6, yeah.
Something.
I'd rather go there. You go to a better team.
Yeah.
And there's low expectations.
Yep.
You get drafted number 1, you go to a terrible team in all the expectations. That is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So when LeBron does it, it's very, very
Impressive. Yeah.
Not to start that debate. Artist, designer, Kobe versus LeBron. Jordan versus LeBron, artist versus designer. Let's end it with that. I think Jordan's an artist. I think Kobe's a designer. I think Kobe used a template.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked. Yeah. I think Jordan used templates, but he kind of made his own thing. I think Kobe is a 6'8" Jordan.
Kyrie.
Artist.
Okay.
Right? You agree?
Agree. I don't know what LeBron is. He's an alien.
He really is.
He's an alien. He's not like I think
he's a plane to me though. Yeah.
But I think LeBron gets a lot of flack because his game isn't as artistic,
right,
as Jordan's was.
Right.
Like Jordan was like,
I tell you, he looked like he was flying, bro.
Yeah.
We grew up to that. We was very impressionable watching that dude look like he could fly.
And I was not a listen. Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I have tremendous respect for what he was able to accomplish and his athleticism. But I wasn't a Jordan fan. I was a Detroit Pistons fan, Isaiah Thomas fan. But LeBron, when he emerged, it was like, okay, what am I looking at? Because it wasn't as fluid. It wasn't as graceful. It was just like,
get to the bag.
A monster.
I'm getting to the bag. I'm doing all this stuff to get to the bag. That's how I see it. So as we talk about it, I think LeBron is way more a designer, even than Kobe. In that, I think LeBron
in his career or in his
career.
I'm talking
from high school.
I'm talking about his game.
I'm talking about his career.
Yeah.
So I'll get to his game. In his career, he knows what the people want, and he's giving it to them, or what he needs to win, or he's just going to do it. For his game, yeah, it doesn't look as good as Kobe and LeBron. I mean, in Jordan. Still to me, I'm thinking art, but this like brutalist art, like a different type of art. It's not like flowing,
right?
But it's just like the Bauhaus. Well, that's design. Woo, that's a good conversation.
I think it's more like abstract.
LeBron?
Yeah, it's like
I can see Kobe.
Take this pink splatter. $1 million.
No, so that's how you see it. I see it as like straight lines. Like point A, get to point B, shortest distance, get there. If you got to run over people, get there. Brutalist. If you know anything about Bauhaus is a kind of like where design was kind of birthed, I guess, in Germany. And you think about German art, German propaganda type art, is a lot of strong lines and strong features. Just think of like
Volkswagen.
Yes, think like that, right? Get straight to the point. I see LeBron as that. Like
I mean, I see a lot of like sevens Like, you know what I mean? In his game, like, I like see numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Would you explain sevens?
sevens is like his step back jump shot.
Like the shape of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
It's weird, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Whereas
Places
Kyrie is
cursive.
cursive. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Cursive versus they don't teach cursive in school no more.
Right. And then
So so when you see cursive, it looks like something.
yeah.
That's so to go full circle as far as like AI and the technological age and what AI can and won't be able to do. It's stuff like cursive. We're like, AI will probably be able to. It can write cursive now, probably. Like, show me a cursive, blah blah, write it in cursive. But
thinking isn't.
the thing about when we write cursive, our two cursives will be completely different, and our A's will be completely different each time forever. I don't know if AI is going to be able to put it all. And if it does, it's going to take so much computing power just to make the A's look different every time you wrote the A. AI is going to have to force itself to be that random. Right? So whenever I look at AI, so at 50% of the stuff I see on here, I feel is AI generated. I just listen or I watch, and I watch for consistencies. So when I see writing, I get students that write stuff, and it's just like, okay, I know you don't even know how to spell that word you used, right? Or if it's talking, it'll be talking. You've seen this. It'll talk, and it gets to a name and that's pronounced, especially a black name, and it mispronounces the black name on it.
Right.
So it was like, it was the artist Redman and the rapper Mos Def. Right. It's like that.
Right.
So, then it has to learn that over time, but it's going to take a lot of compute. Anyway, this was a great conversation, and hope this comes out. But yeah, I thought this was a dope conversation. There will be a B, and what was the conversation we were going on before? It was a tangent. The tangent you were going on as far as
personality and education, or before that.
I'm gonna watch this video and find it out, and we're gonna get back on that because that was a total tangent, but it was a valuable tangent. And and I'm gonna tell this, we shooting this you don't need a lot. So I'm a teacher, we're both educators. You don't need a lot to do what you want to do. I wanted to have this conversation. I've been trying to get him schedule it where I'm in Florida and I'm in the podcast booth and I gotta hook up the computer and get the split screen going. I want it to look super professional and blah blah blah. I got a Pixel Pro filming. We're recording the audio with a Zoom that he has this rolls around within his book bag, right? And we just made that,
man. Audio file all day long.
So I don't know. Hopefully, this will come out good and it'll be valuable. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thanks, brother.
I'm still there.
Yes.
That was good.